MARC HINTON Last updated 17:03 the 26th of February 2019. TYLER KAUFMAN, AP Basketball NZ has learned to be patient when it comes to Oklahoma City Thunder star Steven Adams. Getty Images. Reuben, Rangi and the Tall Blacks will have a quality build-up to this year's World Cup in China. Basketball. The Tall Blacks are heading to the World Cup, which means the battlers from Basketball New Zealand will again be reaching for that olive branch to extend the way of NBA superstar Steven Adams. New Zealand's national hoops body is nothing if not obstinate and persistent when it comes to pitching to their elusive Oklahoma City Thunder center around the possibility of him ending his self-imposed Tall Blacks exile. So far every approach they've made has been politely rebuffed. "Not the right time yet," has been the gist of the thanks but no thanks replay. But Basketball NZ chief executive Ian Potter told Stuff that he will once again knock politely on the Adams door to see if he's interested after the Tall Blacks confirmed their spot at a fifth straight World Cup by qualifying as one of the two pool winners out of the new FIBA Asia qualifying process. Read more. Tall Blacks toppled in Jordan. Abercrombie hits game winner. All hands on deck for Henair. Delaney confirms Serbia move. The World Cup is being held smack bang in the middle of the NBA offseason in China from August 31st to September 15th, with the Tall Blacks the likely number 2 seed out of Asia behind fellow group winners Australia. The draw will be held on March 16th in Shenzhen. "We've got to keep reminding him of what's special about playing for New Zealand and what's really special about playing for New Zealand at a World Cup," said Potter. "Won't make any decisions until his NBA season is over and he sees how he feels physically, mentally and emotionally. We 100% understand he can't make a commitment right now. But we will continue to make a point of how special it is to play for your country at a World Cup once every 4 years, very few times in your life. It's the Olympics of basketball really. Actually, basketball does have the Olympics as well, and it is understood Adams regards the chance to compete there potentially alongside his sister Valerie as a very enticing prospect indeed. And that's where it gets interesting. The most direct route for the Tall Blacks to make it to Japan in 2020 is by taking the one automatic Oceania spot up for grabs out of the World Cup. To get that they would only have to, somehow, finish ahead of a loaded Australia side at this year's global event. Add feedback. Without Adams it's a bleak prospect. With a giant key, it's a heck of a lot more achievable. Potter has learned not to get his hopes up around the 25-year-old NBA standout finally playing for New Zealand and adopts a fatalistic approach these days. "We hope he has a wonderful NBA season, he gets to the end of it in good nick, and comes back to New Zealand and has a think about what it would be like to play in a World Cup. The timing could not be better. It is designed to accommodate NBA players." Meanwhile, Potter has confirmed a high-quality and best-case scenario build-up for Paul Henair's Tall Blacks ahead of the World Cup. With next to nothing in the way of funding, Potter, Henair and high-performance manager Leonard King have had to pluck the hoops equivalent of a rabbit out of the hat to get the shakedown for China they will require. The New Zealanders will head first for a preparation camp in Atsugi, Japan, that will culminate in 2 games against that country's World Cup-bound national side. They will then travel to Sydney for 2 games against a fast-rising Canada side as part of Australia's highly anticipated pre-World Cup series against the USA, before wrapping up preparations with a 4-nation tournament in Shenyang, China, that also includes global hoops heavyweights France, Serbia and Italy. Potter said it was all they could have hoped for on the beg, pledge and borrow approach we have to take with our severe funding situation. Essentially all 3 stages of the Tall Blacks build-up have been funded by their hosts, with Potter lauding the generosity of Basketball Australia, newly established links in Japan and Bengalo's Chinese Golden Star organization. "We're pretty happy, all things considered," said Potter. "We've managed to stitch something pretty decent together based on the strength of our relationship the last few years with Japan, a very good relationship with Australia and a strong relationship with our Chinese intermediary. It really minimizes costs because we're working to a budget that would be, if not the smallest, one of the smallest of the 32 teams going to the World Cup. Stuff.